Good morning, boys and girls. Today I would like to talk to you about the traditional algorithm for dividing. This is probably the way that your mom and your dad learned how to divide. Now, some of you might like this way, and some of you might like the partial products way. It is totally up to you which way works best. I'm just going to teach it to you and let you decide what you like. So there's two ways that you can remember how this algorithm works. The first way that we went over in class was the daddy, mommy, sister, brother, rover. That's an acronym that reminds us that first we divide, then we multiply, we subtract, we bring down, and then we repeat the whole process. Another way that I was taught is the hamburger model. So we can think about the bun is divide. That's the first step that we do. The cheese is to multiply. The tomato is subtract. Then next after that, we're going to bring down. That's our meat. And then finally, our bun, the last part of our bun is the repeat, the whole thing. So in just a moment, I'm going to use all of these steps and I'm going to show you how we can use the traditional algorithm to divide a number. So let's get started. So what if we were given the problem 97 divided by 3? 97 divided by 3. Well, just like the partial products method, we would build a house. And inside the house, we're going to put our dividend. That's the number we want to divide. This is called the dividend. So we go ahead and put that inside of our house. And then our divisor, that's the number that we are going into, the number of groups we are making, will go outside the house. So our dividend inside, our divisor outside. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. All right, our first step is that we're going to look at the first digit in our dividend, which is 97. And we're going to ask ourselves, if we divide our first step, 9 into 3 groups, how many times does it go? Well, we know that 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to write 3 right above the number that we were able to divide it into, which is 9 divided by 3 is 3. It goes right above the 9. The next step is we're going to multiply. We multiply our, this is called the quotient. We multiply our divisor by our quotient, and we're going to get a number down here that we're going to take away from our dividend. That's where the subtract part comes in. Okay, so we're going to take away 9 and we have nothing left over. Okay, that's where we're going to put our 0 because we have nothing left over. We're going to go ahead and bring down whatever is left over in our dividend. We can see that there's a 7 that's left over in our dividend. So I like to draw an arrow to show that we're bringing it down. We bring down our 7 into the spot that's left over. Okay, so now we can see that we have only 7 left over. We're going to repeat the process. We've already brought down, now we're going to do our last step, which is to repeat the process. We go right back up to the top. We're going to divide our 7. What do we divide it by? By our divisor. We're still dividing everything by 3. 7 divided by 3, we cannot do that. It does not evenly go. So we're going to have to get as close as we possibly can. So we have to ask ourselves, what number can we divide 7 by and get pretty close and see what's left over? Well, what about 6? Could we get to 6? Well, sure. Goes about 2 times. 7 divided by 3 goes about 2 times. And here's what I mean. We're going to go ahead and multiply to see what is left. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. You can see now why I chose that number. We're awfully close to 7. We're 1 away from it. That's why I chose a quotient of 2. 3 times 2 is 6. We're going to subtract to see what's left over. We get a 1. There is nothing left to bring down. We are done with that step. There's nothing left to repeat. we have a remainder of 1. So we'll go ahead and we'll write our R1. So 97 divided by 3, the quotient of this is 32 with a remainder of 1. Now we can check this answer by multiplying. 3 times 32 plus our remainder plus 1 should equal 97. Let's go ahead and check. 32 times 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, is 96 plus our remainder plus 1. 96 plus 1 is 97. Our answer checks out. Let's do another one. Let's do a little bit harder of one. This time, why don't we do 471? We'll use that as our dividend, and we'll divide it by 5. Okay, so let's look at our first digit here. We'll notice that 4 does not go into 5. The reason 4 does not go into 5 is because 4 is a little bit smaller. If I were to divide that into 5 groups, I wouldn't have enough. I'd have 1 less than I would need. So for this, we cannot divide 4 into 5. We need to go ahead to the next digit. We need to include both of those together, and we need to ask ourselves, 47, how many times does that go into 5? All right. Now, before, when we were dividing 97 by 3, and we knew that that went in 3 times, we wrote our quotient right above. But notice how this time we were not able to divide our 4-digit. We had to go on to our next digit. That means when we divide this by 5, our digit is going to actually go above our 7. The reason is we're not dealing with our 4 only. We're also dealing with our 7 digit. That means the digit that we are going to find for our quotient is going to go above the 7. Okay, that's a little bit different than the first video. So 47 cannot go evenly into 5. We can get close though. And if you're not sure, what you can do is you can try out some products that might get you close. For example, 5 times what gets me close to 47? Let me go ahead and highlight that again. 5 times what gets me close to 47? Well, we could try 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is still kind of far away from 47. Let's see if we can get closer. How about 5 times 8? 5 times 8 is 40. I think we can get a little closer. What about 5 times 9? 5 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45. I wonder if we can get closer. Let's try. How about 5 times 10? Let's go ahead and try. 5 times 10 is 50. Uh-oh, we're a little bit larger than our target number, 47. Let's bump it down to 5 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45. That's going to be as close as we can get. Our quotient that we will put above our 47 here is going to be 9. We go on to our next step, which is to multiply. 5 times 9 is 45. We're going to go to our next step, which is subtract. 47 minus 45. 4 minus 4 is 0. 7 minus 5 is 2. And we'll go ahead and go to our next step, which is to bring down. We have a 1 here. I'm going to draw an arrow to show that we're bringing our 1 down. We bring it right down next to our 2. So now we have 21. And we're trying to see dividing. We're repeating our process. If we are to divide 21 by 5, about how many times will it go? Well, again, we can use guess and check. 5 times what gets me close to 21? Well, we could try 5 times 4. I know 5 times 4 is 20. That gets me really, really close. But why don't I try 5 times 5 just to try it out? 5 times 5 is 25. Uh-oh, that's a little bit too big. You'll notice that 5 times 5 is too big. We cannot go 21 into 5 groups will not go 5 times because that's too big. So we'll have to use 4. Okay, our factor here will go next to our 9. Okay, we'll multiply. 5 times 4 is equal to 20. We'll go to our next step, subtract. 21 take away 20 is 1. We'll go to our next step, bring down. We have nothing left to bring down. We have nothing else to repeat. We have 1 left over. Our answer is 94 with a remainder of 1. Again, we can check this by saying to ourselves, 94 times 5 plus our remainder plus 1 should equal 474. Let's check. 94 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 9 is 45, 46, 47. 470 plus our remainder of 1 equals 471. The answer checks out. Okay?